Hey guys, my name is Subbu and welcome to my shop. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I added a perfect blade width splitter to my homemade table saw throat plate, making rip cuts very safe so it doesn't tip into the blade and resulting in a kickback. Would love for you to follow along. Thank you. So this is the end in mind. I'm showing the finished project. So it's the first time I'm testing it without the saw on, and I'm getting pretty excited that it's actually working really well. And now I'm trying the first cut. So watch as the wood crosses the blade, and once it catches the splitter, it really sticks to the fence. There is a splitter that came with the saw. It's very janky, and I don't use it. And this is the first time I have a splitter right on the throat plate, and it's just working perfectly. In addition to the safety aspect of it, when I cut two pieces of the same width, or rip two pieces with the same width and check the cut, they are perfectly at the same height. So the key idea for this is to cut a splitter that is the exact width your blade is going to cut. It's not really the thickness of the blade, because when you think about it, there's some vibrations, especially in these kind of low-end saws. So it has to, the thickness has to match the kerf of the blade. You can't just measure the blade and do it. So it's got to be exactly what what the blade is going to make. And I got the idea from a couple of channels. It's not the original idea. There's a great channel called Inspire Woodcraft and another called Captain Tack. I will link both of them in the description below. So the first step is you rip two pieces of wood that are the exact width. The actual width doesn't matter as long as they both are identical. Then you use one as a fence and push the other past the blade, and what you're creating is a sort of a ledge, a little lip. You're not pushing the second piece all the way through, you're pushing it just a little bit to create a width that is exactly the width of the kerf, and that's what I'm doing here. So I'm creating that width, not pushing it all the way through. So because I pushed it part of the way through, it has a little bit of kerf, and then you flip that piece over and use that lip as a reference, as a support, right? So you support the wood in that ledge, and the lip in the front is going to be it's going to hold your piece together. And then when you cut it now, so because your wood is offset by the kerf, that extra what the blade is cutting is going to be equal to the kerf. I'm probably explaining it harder than it actually is. Once you look at it, the video, it's pretty simple. So I'm actually going to make a second cut by flipping the wood here and creating a couple extra splitters. So take your time to do this carefully. I think my first cut was not very stable. This one is better, and now I'm just cross-cutting them so I can take that splitter, that small piece off. Now that's the one. Now when I checked with the micrometer, I mean, I could clearly see that the thickness of the splitter is actually a little bit bigger, a few thousandths bigger than the blade width. You know, again, accounting for the wobble and such. So now I'm cutting this into smaller pieces that I'm gonna glue into the Kerf on the splitter. Sorry, on the throat plate. That's pretty much it. It's a pretty simple project. You can get it done in an afternoon, assuming you have a throat plate. I mean, the throat plate is pretty easy to make. There's a lot of videos. I'll link some in my description as well. That is well worth making it. Again, it's about increasing the quality of the cut in a small table saw like this one. And then I clamp it up, and after a few minutes, it's all done. Thank you so much for watching.